Okay.
So let's say I was somebody who did physical therapy and I was thinking, I didn't have enough variety to be able to give, let's say, Dr. Engler in her workouts, and I wanted to be able to give her a larger amount of variety. Ideally, I want to be able to use the different muscles that complete the different parts of the motion. So if I have a circular motion, I have my lat, which I'm using to help bring my arm out, which would be very similar to being able to have a barbell, and I'm using the barbell to be able to go here. And this specifically doesn't use the same muscles once it gets to that out position, right? So that's lifting out. At that point, to be able to bring the arm from this position up is a different set of muscles to get it to be able to get it to a approximately 45-degree angle. To go from there, to get it to go up, the most it can go up from there is it's only going to be able to get to slightly shy, probably maybe 10 degrees shy of straight. At that point, if I want my arms to cross, I either have to bend my elbows or transition to my dorsal ventral plane to get that arm to move in a different direction. But when I'm here, normally that arm starts transitioning from here. It starts transitioning down because it actually starts moving forward and across the body. To be able to get that changes it. At this point, I'm going to be using obliques and lats, right? To get it, that initial out is going to be oblique and lat. To get it up, I'm now going to be using a combination. I keep flipping them in my head, so I probably say it wrong. But I have my traps and my deltoids to be able to get it to here. From here, I'm using different aspect of my pectorals to be able to bring that arm in. Being able to then send it down is going to be a different part of my chest. The different part of my chest is my transverse abdominis, which is actually pushing the arm down and then transitioning. All of that is just for one of those circles. That's just moving it and one direction. Being able to have the arm move in the direction moving the other way and understanding what muscles actually would be required to be able to bring the arm and squeezing like a low squeeze. This would be low pectoral. Then as I'm trying to go from here, if I had resistance and I had to be able to bring that arm up, this uses a completely different area. This is now definitely upper obliques rather than the lower obliques that were used earlier. Being able to move and push that to the side, this is a completely different set of muscles being able to work that range of motion. If I'm trying to be able to work a range of motion that's coming in, this is essentially the same muscles that are used in a butterfly press. To go this way, moving out, this is using a lot of really small, like teres minor, as well as your rotators. And again, a little bit of your lat to be able to manipulate, to be able to go through this one. When I end up trying to be able to have the range of motion that swimmers use, this ends up using a completely different set of muscles that go down through your back. It ties into your erectors and some of those others as you're trying to do it. Like if you have an arm exercise that goes straight forward instead of out to the side, you have one set of muscles that get to here. Again, you have another that get to here, another that get to here. If you have it and you have it reaching behind you, whether it's from a bent arm or a straight arm, this is a different set of muscles that actually controls that as it comes down and through. Doing that same idea, being able to go back and around to come over. Strengthening so that she's aware of what muscles actually do which for control is one of the things that would also be beneficial, because that's what a lot of this is, and understanding where the elbow is in terms of rotation. Because if I have my elbow rotated this direction and I come through, as opposed to, like, you'll find that your arm can't, like this blocks, like there's a limited range of motion if my elbow happens to be here, because this is the primary position for this other circle. If my elbow happens to be here, which is not the same as being presented here, this is halfway, this is the best position for here. I could have my arm in this position. I could have it here. So just understanding the way that that works will help. That's what you're seeing in this section.